everybody, welcome back to Slime Rancher 2. I remember my note of I need to get fruits for the fruit back Gordo. Despite Excel glitching out on me and losing it. Which actually was one of the biggest reasons I noticed that Excel had glitched out. I mean, I probably grabbed the wrong file somehow and went into a backdate. Which the secondary reason was I started recording stuff and realized, oh, I didn't actually need this episode. I'm adding to the buffer. Granted, that was for, I think, November videos. I cannot remember if Slimer is supposed to be 25 minutes. I'm gonna put it at 20. It's gonna probably go into 30 anyways. And you know what? Because I keep putting it off, let's look at the Slimepedia because, oh boy, I have yet to do so. This way I can make sure for any of the newer slimes I know stuff, as well as refresh myself. As normal, pink slimes are our basic slime. Their coral hue is simply proven to be the color of cheer. Pink slimes are the most common slime found in the far range. They're docile, cheerful, and easiest of all the slimes to ranch. Hence why we're not actually going to be ranching them unless we have enough spots for them, we don't care. They will eat anything you put in front of them, though they have no favorite fruit. Their plorts are the least valuable of all slimes. Rancher wrist, there's not much to worry about. Pink slime, they're soft, squishy, happy to be around the rancher. And which can lead to largos, yada yada. Plormonics. Okay, what are the plorts used for? Pink plorts are an excellent multi-purpose genetic substance used to manufacture everything from food products to household cleaners. All over the earth, people are eating burgers, weaning their coffees, or scrubbing their floors with pink plort products. And that's some of the serious versatility. Cotton slime. A hop, a skip, and a jump, and oh, it's gone. Diet. Veggie. Favorite. Water lettuce. Cotton slimes seem to adapt to life among the tall grasses of Rainbow Island by developing a spring in their step that allows them to leap far higher into the air than any other slime. Once airborne, these floopy-tailed slimes are always hopping their hops to land them in a patch of delicious water lettuce. Cotton slimes are always looking for excuse to leap high in the air, be it to escape a corral because they're agitated or secret bunny things. Either way, ensure that ranchers stay on their toes. This means that you're still not tall enough to reach them. aka put a net on their corral so they're not able to escape. Floridanomics. Cotton plorts have an inexplicable I cannot say that word. Inexplicable fluffy quality to them, making them great alternative to cotton, which is not native to the far range. If one desired a quiet, isolated life on the Rainbow Island, but still have soft pillows, warm sweaters, and a lot of dry socks, they would do well to keep cotton slimes happy, hopping around about their range. Reminder, because of how common they are right up front of the ranch, they also will not probably be ranched properly. Tabby slime. Those stripes that tail, that wiggle, aka the butt wiggle. Diet meat, favorite is stony hen. Slimeology. Tabby slimes share. Why am I struggling with my words? Tabby slimes share many curious similarities to a domesticated house cat, aka if they're ginger, they have one brain cell, or potentially a Tory shell, inheriting their father's one ginger brain cell, in the case of my beloved Cinnamon. With their perky ears, striped backs, and swaying tails, you'd almost mistake them for a true found if they were entirely made of gooey slime, of course. Rancher rears tabby slimes generally don't mean any harm to a rancher, but like your cat cousin or cat cousins, they cause a great deal of chaos anyway. Tabby slimes love to steal things that they don't need, like fruit and veggies, resulting in a lot of unintended largo transformations on the range. Tabby plorts are key ingredients in a variety of performance-enhancing products that grant the consumer a surge of tabby slime's signature energy and experience. Once again, words aren't easy. Sometimes learning to reading words sometimes just doesn't work. Sometimes. And while athletes, the world overtake them to gain an edge, prolonged use often results in uncontrolled butt wiggles. Another less desirable signature of the tabby slime. Phosphor slimes. The softly glowing heralds of starlight, dyed as fruit. To eat cuberries are their favorite. Phosphor slimes come out at night, flying about in the moonlit range upon their translucent wings. Phosphor slimes have a luminescent slime core that pulses with a soft glow, making them easy to spot. For this reason, ranchers sometimes refer to them as low stars. Phosphor slimes have a special needs compared to your typical slime. A phosphor slime in its plorts will quickly vanish exposed to sunlight, meaning a rancher will quickly lose an entire corral's worth of phosphor slimes if they're not careful. Rangers must back them up before daybreak or keep slimes in a place that's particularly dark, like a cave, or have an upgrade that gives them protection from the sun. Photonics. The luminescent compounds found within the phosphor quartz can produce light for over 100 years, making it an incredibly eco-friendly form of illumination on Earth. Cities across the globe are slowly switching over to phosphor lights, saving trillions of gigawatts of energy daily. Plus, if you rub the stuff in your hair, it glows and looks really cool. Angler slimes. So pretty, let me get a little closer. Probably not fit. Diet meat favorite is the sea hen. Angler slimes inhabit the deepest depths of the slime sea, but now have been discovered on Rainbow Island. It's not known what drew them from their darkest recesses of the far, far range to what very well could be the most vibrant, but it may have something to do with the taste of the plump, sun-kissed drumsticks of a sea hen. Beware! Behind the angler side, adorably fishy exterior beats the heart of a chicken-chomping monster. Using their hypnotic lantern-like lure, they create a powerful radiant flash that can stun chickens and even other slimes. Anglerports are able to maintain their form at incredible depths, making them an excellent material for deep sea diving tech. Blech, not living. Because of this, they are uniquely comfortable object to hold. To know something that can be so small but manage to withstand the pressure so oddly encouraging, perhaps inspiring the courage for someone to take on the impossible. That leaves me with a question. Because if these floors help get pressure, does it affect the human that goes in it, or are we still affected by the bends and then everything that follows? If we can make a suit out of it. Questions that question. Fatty slime, a fiendish stalker of the night, always hungering for fruit. Pomegranate, which is a literal pomegranate. It's a granite made of. It's a palm fruit. I guess. It's a pomegranate within granite. Fatty slimes love to lurk in the cold, dark places like caves, swooping down from the ceiling to scare others with their glowing red eyes and pointy fangs. No, they're not vampires. That's all the glowing eyes let them see in the dark is all. They also greatly dislike garlic because they only eat fruit, seriously. While in darkness like caves and our batty slimes grow hungrier and will eat more often than other slimes. While they can thrive in the sunlight, the sun's searing rays freak them out a bit, increasing their agitation over time. Again, no, they're not vampires. Get that out of your head. They're not a vampire. Florets have the significant potential to navigate for navigation and sonar attack. Each floret can produce a perfect ping for the echolocation. Having supplies of these and the right know-how can allow you to navigate even the most devious of labyrinths with ease. But then again, how many of us find ourselves needing to do something like that? Talk to cave divers and anyone else who was deep diving in the ocean. Ringtail slime. Where there's a crime, there's a ringtail slime. Diet. Everything. Kinda like a pink slime. They have no favorites. Ringtail slimes are nothing but trouble. Theft under the cover of darkness is their favorite hobby, and they delight getting away with much as possible before the sun rises. For this reason exclusively, moonlight crime spree, that is, ringtails, have a particular condition that transforms them into stone when exposed to sunlight. And while they're not saying this is an ancient curse, they're definitely the type of slime who would have an ancient curse if that was a thing. Once a ringtail slime starts eating, it will never stop. Just one ringtail slime is capable of wiping out an entire farm if given time. And they offer nothing in return because the ringtail slime stops producing florets when it would be otherwise full. If you plan on keeping these ravenous rascals, keep an eye out for a mischievous expression to know when to avoid feeding them. Also, I don't think these guys can become a largo. I would need to double check that. I'm pretty sure they can't. Keeping them might be a case of I have to limit myself most definitely. Materials developed from ringtail florets are extremely resilient, actually hardening in the face of UV rays. And similar to pink florets, ringtail florets are very malleable, allowing a clever person to craft a wide range of things that can stand the test of time. Such things can be something as an essential as sturdy shelter on a faraway island, or simply as a collection of family photos that could survive a trek across a scorching desert. Boom slime. Careful, these slimes have been known to explode. Meat. Their favorite is briarhen. Boom slimes are often heard before they are seen. The slimes of cell of a boom slime are constantly vibrating, causing their slime to increasingly crackle of energy before ultimately exploding. However, the slime is always comes out unscathed, although always a little dazed. Ranchers, boom slimes are constantly building towards an inevitable explosion, making them quite hazardous to ranchers. In addition to these explosions causing bodily harm, they also have a capacity to send all nearby slimes flying into the air, making them hard slime to corral. High versatile boom florets have all the sorts of applications, including making rocket thrusters and demolitions. Military organizations value their highly destructive capabilities for medical technologies and other research. Imagine that! I don't think that's what they're actually used for. I think they're used for TNT and mortars. I think that's what they're actually used for. Honey slime. Nothing is sweeter than a recently produced floret of honey. Fruit. Mango fruit is their favorite. This might actually just be the entire episode, me reading with the slimes. Yeah, that'll be the entire episode. I'll just talk about slimes. Honey slimes are an odd breed of slime composed of hyper-sweet slime compound. Most slime scientists believe this to be a result of their cells replicating in natural sugars found in fruits and flowers and the floral nectars of the far, far range. Most ranchers agree that their plorts taste great on cereal. The greatest danger of a honey slime possesses is found in their plorts. Honey plorts are the sweetest, most delicious plorts in the far, far range. Other slimes can detect them from much further away than a normal plort and will do everything in their means to get to them. A rancher with honey slimes needs to be careful about unattended largos or worse. AKA the worst is tars, but tars are turned off for me. Honey plorts are highly prized food by manufacturers. Though the plorts are naturally incredibly sweet, discovery that it could be further refined into an even sweeter substance made their demands soar. These refined honey plorts are said to score an unprecedented 867 on the Warner Thompkins Hong's Sacronosa scale, just a few points shy of not fit for human consumption. Oh my god, that's entire. I think that's so sweet you'll die. Or too sugary for you. That's what it's trying to say. Puddle slime. Keep one in your bowl and you'll always stay cool, but it's weird. Favorite facts. He eats nothing but water. Puddle slimes are a rare species of slime that live in fresh pools found in the range. These slimes don't eat fruits, veggies, meats, or like the other slimes. Instead, puddle slimes absorb water into their bodies while they sit on the surface of a pool. Puddle slimes need fresh water to survive and quickly evaporate if left on any other surface for too long. Puddle slimes are not a risk to manage, they just require a fair bit of maintenance. A rancher needs a pool of fresh water like a pond. Available for a puddle slime and its plorts to sit in, as they will evaporate if away from water. Finally, a puddle slime are exceptionally shy and will not produce plorts if they are in proximity of more than 3 other slimes. If you give them a duck toy, they will be more willing. An easy way to tell if they're blushing. If the puddle slime blushes, they will not make plorts. Overall, a puddle slime is a better fit for more experienced rancher, not one still wet behind the ears. Plortonomics. Puddle plorts are made almost entirely from an incredible hydro compound known by chemists across the galaxy as H2O. Oh, HHHH. This compound is used to create an absurdly expensive brand of bottled drinking water that is sought after by the elite back on Earth, aka the mega wealthy. The 1% who somehow have so much say. Because they're rich. While some people argue that there's little difference in the taste between it and tap water, those people seriously are not getting it. Crystal slimes. It is clear as shiny, transparent rocks that these slimes are dangerous. Have I not picked up a rock slime? I haven't. Believed to be a cousin of the rock slime, crystal slime is covered in a crown of shimmering crystal spikes. These spikes seem to form crystals the crystal slime generating a tremendous amount of internal heat, warping the minerals around them in a truly alien behavior. The sharp crystals adorned by the crystal slime crown will cause a great deal of harm if touched. Worse still, this crystal slime routinely creates large patches of hazardous crystals in the environment around them. Thought to be a means of expelling internal heat, these crystal patches are ultra hot and can be shattered if splashed with water. Fun fact, as a minor distraction, I love putting a crystal slime and a boom slime together. Sometimes I like putting a what is it called? I know they're not in this one. Why am I facing? Why am I forgetting what it's called? The mosaic. I like putting them with the mosaic as well. Okay. Through the crystals produced by a crystal slime are highly unstable. A crystal floor, like all floors, is far more pure and can be used by slime scientists to engineer in a variety of metals that are completely transparent. This innovation has led to metropolitan areas on Earth completely transforming visually, allowing more light to reach the streets and the space as a whole chance to breathe. Architects are often describe these transparent metals as totally cooler than normal boring metals. Hunter slimes, aka the slime I like to put with a quantum slime, which I don't think it might be in here. I don't know if it is. The hunter slime favorite food is the rooster, aka the rooster. Hunter slime, never mind the rabbit. Have you seen any chickens? The hunter slime is a wild cousin of tabby slime, much more capable creature than the playful tabbies. Hunter slimes excel at stalking chickens of the far range. A hunter slimeology makeup allows for natural cloaking ability that renders it almost completely invisible. The only tell is their giant almond eyes, which often can be seen hovering in the dark. This effect often described as unsuspecting ranchers of rancher risk. Hunter slime have keen senses and detect prey from great distances. This makes them finding a good location for their crouch challenging. Additionally, wild nature of the hunter slime also passes onto any largo forms from its plorts. A newly created hunter largo will always be feral. Eat it once and it'll be fine. A prepared ranger knows that breeding hunter largos should always be done slowly, with a few chickens on hand to calm them down, or whatever the other end of the largo is. Amazingly, a serum can be made from hunter slime ports that can actually render a person invisible. The effect only lasted for about a day, but this serum is nonetheless incredibly popular back on Earth, as many people find its effects very soothing. Sometimes you feel like you just want to disappear for a while, but then about a day goes by and then you realize not only did you miss being seen, but others miss seeing you too. I feel like this is also one that you need to keep an eye on and make sure criminals don't have. Just saying. Fire slimes, like a campfire except it moves and it's a slime. Guide, ash, favorite, nothing. Fire slimes are my favorite slime. I'm sorry, it's true. They are the best slime. You cannot convince me otherwise. The only downside is, as far as I know, the only way to house them is through an incinerary with an ashtray. Fire slimes are a rare breed of slime that lives on ash. Fire slimes will just eat about any food, but not without it being burnt into ash first. The only way to feed a fire slime is using an incinerator with an ash trough upgrade. Fire slimes need ash to survive and quickly snuff out if left on any surface for too long. When keeping fire slimes in an ashtray, simply burn any food item to produce some ash and fill the trough. A fire slime's natural burning state makes it a better companion for other slimes, as well as their fire touch will send a flame as slime flying. Additionally, fire slimes and their plorts need to be kept in an ash trough under an incinerator or they'll quickly snuff out. If you have to deal with fire slimes directly, splash fresh water and put out their fires for a short while. I didn't know you could do that. Fire plorts are used in developing a world on Earth to keep stoves and fireplaces burning. Thanks to fire plorts, warm hands and hot foods possibility for millions who otherwise would not have access to such luxuries. A rancher won't get rich selling fire plorts, and certainly managing them can be a dangerous endeavor, but they should know that the scale of each helps those in need, now and the far into the future. The little noble actions of every individual help us move forward as people. That much will never change. Gold slime. Get rich or die sliming. Diet, none. Favorites, none. Beat it anything, pretty much. The most elusive and sought after slime of all time species is easily the gold slime. Very little is known about these slippery creatures as they have proven impossible to capture. Gold slimes are quick to flash and will immediately begin to flee ranchers on sight. If a rancher is to profit from an encounter with gold slime, they need to think quick. Gold slime production, no direct risk to a rancher, but their appearance often induces panic and leads to sometimes fatal mistakes. Very true. Further, the only way to obtain gold plorts is to strike a gold slime of any spare resource in your back. Doing so can produce a gold plort, though it leaves a trail of additional resources in the area, leading to unattended largos or worse, aka tars. Gold plorts have little practical use and are the most valuable of all plorts. Simply because they are shiny and rare. Back on Earth, the elite love to adorn themselves in jewelry made of gold quartz, far exceeding the value of any terrestrial precious metal. For this reason, a rancher should never pass up the chance to get a gold plort or two from a chance encounter with a gold slime. I've seen at least 3. Largo slimes. There are just more to love. Largo slimes are a hybrid between 2 slimes, resulting in a slime-eating plort unlike its own. They are twice as big as normal slimes and have a diet of the 2 slimes, making them enticing for ranchers that want to maximize their profits. However, a largo is too big to vac and can only be transported through the use of their end of their vac nozzle. This makes them difficult to control if things get out of hand. In addition to largos being more difficult to manage and having the combined powers of 2 slimes, an even greater threat to ranchers lies within these super slime. If a largo eats a plort, unlike its 2 source slimes, it will transform into a ravenous tar slime, which we will never have to deal with because I have them turned off. When a largo eats, it produces plorts from both slime types, making them potentially very lucrative for ranchers to deal with the additional risks of keeping them. Barrel slimes. It's hard to be nice on an empty stomach. Barrel slimes are largos with a mean streak that will attack rancher on sight. It's not known what causes a largo to grumpy that would go feral. It's suspected that they've simply gone too long without a bite to eat. Like many things with slimes, food is everything. If barrel slime eats, it will revert to a normal largo. Feral slimes can pose a serious risk to ranchers if they are not dealt with quickly or avoided altogether. Feral slimes will attempt to bite the rancher at close range or jump in the air and try to stomp them with their butts. In any case, a rancher needs to act fast and feed the feral slime something tasty to avoid such troubles. Feeding a feral slime not only calms it down, but also produces ports in the same manner a largo, though there are certainly easier ways to acquire ports. And Gordo slimes. Bon appetit. Gordo slimes are a rare phenomenon that occur when multiple slimes of the same type congregate. The result is that slimes will seem to merge together into a much larger slime that is seemingly incapable of movement. A Gordo will eat into a burst, causing all the slimes to separate once more, as well as revealing whatever object it was caused the Gordo to form in the first place. Gordos pose no real risk to rangers. They can only sometimes be a nuisance in that they are hiding something a ranger might need. So if you see a Gordo, feed it. Gordos produce no force on their own, however, these slimes produce after bursting like they do like any normal slime. And because weather is a new thing, I shall check what the weather is because I don't know what the weather does. And then we'll check this again on episode 20. Rain. Mood. Dreary, cozy, wonderful. Whether a light drizzle or heavy downpour, rain can make any corner of the Rainbow Island a little more dramatic, but rain also helps keep the tar at bay, naturally water, wild fruit, veggies, and crops, and delight any puddle slime everywhere. Thunderstorms. Hair-raising slimes. Hair-raising if slimes had hair. Few other spectacles of nature compete with a crack of thunder and a flash of lightning during a storm. On Rainbow Island, these storms can sometimes cause lightning strikes down below, from the lightning to strike down from above, crashing into the ground with an incredible force. So when the skies begin to rumble, watch out. Wait, hold on to your plorts. Nothing beats a cool breeze of sea air that rolls through every corner of Rainbow Island, but when cool breezes become gusts and gales, anything that isn't rooted to the ground can find itself going wherever the wind decides to take it. Pollen. I love slimes. Rainbow Island is lush with trees and flowers, so it's not unusual to find clouds that cause tears of joy and sneezes of joy as a reaction in the majesty of nature and full bloom. But nature on Rainbow Island rarely stops there, as pollen crowns often are a precursor to more aggressive forms of plant life, expanding their reach. Vine tangle. Getting to the root of pollen. Dream pollen occurs on Rainbow Island when a pollen cloud swells to unusual levels. Plant life in the area will grow rapidly and erratically, spreading creeping vines in all directions. These vines will spawn large bud blossoms into fruits and veggies and will make great hunting grounds for wild tangled slimes that sometimes appear. Okay. And that will be it for this episode of Slime Rancher. Next time we'll continue on as normal and get the fruits for the back border in here. I'll see you all then. Bye!